June 16th town board meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming. I call this meeting to order officially. First item of business is the public comment section. We've allotted 10 minutes. Would someone like from the public care to speak?
I would if nobody in the room.
See that. Hi.
Hi, everyone. It's Amy. I have 3 points to make. The first is just about the traffic safety resolution. While of course I mourn the tragic loss of the 2 lives at the traffic accident in April at 23 in Craryville Road, I really oppose the resolution to just ask the state for a stoplight because I'm not sure that'll really address the needs. You know, stoplights are not infallible safety tools. As we know, many people just speed up at a yellow light, which could be a big concern there, especially if they were stopped at the light earlier at the school. And moreover, the stop-start of a traffic light can increase air pollution at that source. So that could really negatively impact the residents who live right at the 4 corners. So perhaps an alternative would be just to request them to do an assessment and what are the best safety alternatives for Craryville so we can avoid a tragic accident again. And this could be lowering the speed limit. I mean, that's proven, right? Lower speed limits save lives. We know that for a fact. Or maybe just put better signage up at the crest of the hill when you're coming from the west to the east, when you're driving there, because I don't think that signage is necessarily clear. So that's point 1. Point 2 is about the highway workshop that was recommended at the last town board meeting. Mike, I think you suggested this, that the highway supervisor could conduct a workshop on the topic of road maintenance and repair, which I think is an excellent idea. I mean, the highway department represents over 80% of the town's budget. So I think a workshop would give residents, with Q&A, would give residents, you know, much better understanding of what Richard and his crew deal with, how he works, why he's doing things, and that would just give us much better information and how he's planning for projects, how he implements projects, specifically around chip sealing, around paving, as well as erosion control. And also might as well throw in the ability to post signage that's in his purview versus the Department of Transportation. For example, most recently up on Texas Hill Road at the top, you know, the road, as everybody knows, was chip sealed last year, but less than 12 months ago. And now we have, like about 2 weeks ago, black asphalt was added to the top of Texas Hill Road around at the house 411, not across the road completely, but like a third of the road for quite a long period of time. 2 patches of black asphalt are in front of my property and then in front of another home. And again, I'm just not sure what the means or the purpose was of that asphalt. It would be really helpful if Supervisor Briggs, when he addresses his section today, that he could maybe address that and tell us why black asphalt was used instead of chip seal, because several residents were concerned and very upset by that. The third point I would like to raise and request is to have a formal retraction of some of the comments that Superintendent Briggs made at the last meeting. He accused me of harassment, and I think that was very inappropriate of him. He also made comments, you know, about another council member. I think I don't need to really remind the town board that it's my civil right to speak up about town issues that concern me and impact me. And I believe I've always done so respectfully, both in writing as well as verbally. And again, the record shows that. And I will continue to do so. So I request that the town work with Superintendent Briggs to write a formal and public retraction of his accusation of harassment. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Would anyone else from the public, Jeff?
The page is for the record, I'm on Texasville Road. She mentioned Texasville Road. One of the selling points you had was it was going to reduce pollution and runoff. But the runoff is actually worse on everybody's properties around the new paved road, but the water is actually running off into their property instead of going into the dirt like it used to. We've now added a lot of pollution, which was one of your saving aspects of chip sealing was supposed to be. We've had dust coming off the road since March. We didn't have dust coming off the road until the middle of summer on the drought card. For the first time in 28 years, snapping turtles who usually lay their eggs on the side of the road on the culvert pipe, it's a creek. They did not come in and lay their eggs. They were there. They came up and they left. They did not lay their eggs. A young one came up and laid their eggs, but could not get their eggs deep enough, protected from predators. They were dug up before the night was over. And when I would put my walk in the morning, the eggshells were where the younger one had put her eggs, and they were all gone. So that did not help the environment. All the people speeding up Texasville Road now are creating dust, pollution, because more people are now using the road to go other places. But they didn't use the road before because it was free. And I'm still on the record that there's no way you're ever going to convince me that fixing a chip sealed road is cheaper than fixing a dirt road with dirt.
Thank you. We have 2 minutes left. Would anyone else care to comment? Okay, hearing none, we will be moving on. Thank you all for your comments. First is the approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the May 19 minutes?
Yes.
Erwin and Nico, any discussion on the minutes? Oh, I should mention, our website has, the company that has done it, it did a upgrade.
Did an upgrade and it's also upgraded the dashboard where we can make changes. So we aren't able to make changes for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, so we were unable to upload. All the material has been uploaded. You can find it in the packet. And the latest agenda is also in the packet. Again, this is not a situation we are making. This was a upgrade from our company. Much needed upgrade, but obviously it had some bugs. So we were able to access it in the packet. If you go to, I sent around the agenda around noon today, or you can go to the agenda that is posted and go all the way to the bottom where there's a link to the packet. In the packet, you'll find the latest agenda, which we're working on. Okay, so I'm sorry, we had a first and a second for the minutes. Any discussion on the minutes?
Yeah, there's a part of the minutes here that says that the term was used that I interrupted the meeting. But I was just asking to review a section of the correspondence that we were currently reviewing. I don't think that was an interruption. So I just want to clarify that for the record.
So there was a
Okay.
motion on the table. There was a first and a second, and you interrupted it by asking for something entirely different that had nothing to do with the motion. So that's an interruption.
We can review.
Yeah, I think that, using inflammatory language like
It's
that
not
doesn't
inflammatory,
really,
it was an interruption.
okay.
The
But
motion was on the
I-
table, there should have been discussion about the motion, and you should have left it until after the motion was finished.
Okay.
Okay,
Any further comments? All in favor? Well, Ziegler, Dvorak, Nico,
Okay.
and abstention. Cronin Nordstrom. Okay, thank you. Okay, supervisors report, county report. The Board of Supervisors was invited to tour 11 Warren Street. I'm not sure, Hudson, this is a big deal in Hudson. That building is not well loved and the county bought it. For the, down by Front Street, yes. For the Board of Elections and, not the DA, the public, defenders. The renovation, at least on the interior, is very top notch, and I congratulate County Engineer Ray Drakowski. What they're doing now is they're seeking input for the exterior. So if you go to the county website, you can, I believe there are several different designs uploaded, and you can comment on them. Like, you know, like design one, I like the colors, I don't like the colors, I like the concept and all that. So that is happening. I can't remember if I told everyone about 401 State Street, which is a school, actually it's a school from 1930 that has ceilings about this high and major issues with air conditioning and heating and also access. So they have to make a decision on what to do with that building. So that's going to be a big discussion in the coming years. It will be very costly to get that up to the standards. So the questions will be whether to get a new building, whether to stick with this one. So stay tuned for that. The main financials have been posted. We are still in very good shape with a couple budget amendments that we will talk about. With the June financials, we'll be at halfway through the year. We can take a really hard look at what might be potential issues for the second half of the year. I don't see, with the exception of buildings, it's all gonna be about heating cost. I do think, I have not run a report yet, but I do think our electricity is up like everyone else's. So I'm really concerned about the buildings line, but other than that, we seem to be pretty good. We do have a couple budget amendments, one of which is a little tricky, which I will, yeah, sure. Sure.
I think I have two questions.
Mhm.
I'm not looking at, I can't reference the line number right now.
Okay.
But it looks like we received a donation for this
And show, No.
dirt roads maintenance.
Okay.
I think the amount was $20,000. But that was a single donation.
yes,
So there is another donation each year. There are two roads.
no, there's just one.
So what is that road?
Apple Tree
Apple
Lane.
Tree Lane.
Oh, so the other dead end road was.
No, yeah, she met with Richard and decided not to pursue a donation and.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was chip sealed.
Not yet, but
Will be.
it will be, yeah, and
okay.
he met with all the residents on the road and,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
okay. Sorry, let me get back to this budget amendment. Okay, on to the budget amendment. So basically, there's a resolution further down the line about the revenues from the fleet. Basically, that is the fees are collected and deposited into rental of real property. That is revenue that was not budgeted for. So what this budget amendment does, first of all, it takes the rental of real property, the $2,000 that we took in from the booth rentals, and adds it to the rental of real property. And okay, let me see the best way to explain this. There are also expenses for the flea, which will come out of the flea market revenue. So we made $2,000, but we had approximately $300 worth of expenses. So we're taking the revenue, putting it back into Celebrations contractual to make them whole, and then taking the rest of the revenue from the flea and putting it into the Hamlet Park Reserve, because the flea market is a fundraiser for the Hamlet Park. This is the proper way to do it. As I said, there's another resolution about the previous 2 years. I hope that makes sense. We're taking the unbudgeted revenue and saying, okay, we have $2,000 more in the rental line. And we're gonna take those $2,000, spend $300 for the expenses, and then put the rest of it into the Hamlet Park Reserve. Okay, and then also our insurance premium did go up this year by about $3,000. That was an unforeseen expense. We do have payment of the cyber insurance that's coming up, which we would go over if we don't make this whole again. So I am proposing increasing the insurance line from our contingency by $3,000. I can't read this, $3,000. Anyone, a motion to approve, please. Erwin, and the second part, any further discussion?
Was there a reason for the increase in insurance?
Sorry, I meant to check that out.
And for the town garage,
What's that?
the town garage, the new vehicles.
Right. Yeah.
New truck.
Oh, I've also asked our insurance company to try to break out the road jam part, because that really should not be charged to the town. And we might have to retroactively do something about that, but that's just something that we did it with the lawyer and the accountant. Because that used to be all together, and the insurance is the next thing we should tackle. Just to keep things separate.
Okay.
Motion to approve the budget amendment, all in favor? All right, okay, have to sign this?
Yep.
This is my line,
The
so
top line.
I have to fix that, that's the other whack.
With that.
Okay, thank you all. Next up is the town clerk report.
Emily and I again will given awards for town clerk for 2026.
Hello, thank you.
That's the second year in a row. I don't know what we did, but when tomorrow we have our quarterly meeting with the rest of the clerks in Columbia and Greene County. Which is usually very interesting and answers a lot of questions. We are both now notaries. That's another thing to add to the website. Website's been upgraded. We need to have updates and include new links and forms, etc., etc. Our town software is being upgraded as well, so we're going to be busy with the changes.
Right. And a reminder, Friday is a holiday.
Yeah,
So
Fridays are.
we will be closed.
Some of the offices are coming in. I think the clerk, the
Record, okay,
the building inspector, but not to function with the public, just for
okay, all right,
catch up work.
all right. Next up is the highway superintendent's report. Thank you for your monthly report. Anything else?
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. Next up is the sewer. No, that was just an information,
Oh.
but we received formal recognition of the trips. Sewer, the berm, the grass took about 60%. We think it's more to do with the soil that was used. But anyway, it has been replanted. It has been raining. I have not been out there lately. Have you been out there in the last 5 days? Okay, I will check it again, but
I saw it
yeah,
look better.
it did from
Just,
the, yeah,
yeah. But I mean, I thought maybe it was just warm season seed or something. I didn't know, but
Yeah.
it did look very bare.
yes. Richard's
That's
theory
funny.
is that there were 2 loads of dirt and one really took and the
Oh,
other
I
one didn't, so. We will get that up to snuff. There's also the reprogramming of the panel, which has happened. There's still some interfacing to be done with the town computer, but it is now properly dosing, which is very good news. So we're in good shape with the sewer. Our $30,000 annual loan payment will be in this week's abstract. We do have money to pay this. We still are $150,000 in debt to the general, but our
Reimbursements.
our reimbursements from the press grant, 125K should be coming very shortly, or at least
This week.
112. So we are on solid ground. Next up is the light pole project. This has been inspected by our town engineer. It did come in under budget. We did not use all the contingency. We did use some of the contingency because they did hit some shale and had to rent some special equipment to dig. But other than that, they have been moved. They are working. And
Was the contingency used for the purchase of the bottom plates,
Bases.
the bases?
no, that was part of the.
Okay.
Yeah, but the ones that are broken, that's totally different. As you may know, they took the lights down literally the day before the first big snowstorm. So I don't think those lights would have survived this winter, so it was literally under the wire. But we got it done. I want to thank everyone and thank to McGregor, who was really good and really responsive, and I would highly recommend them.
Were
Sure.
they able to dim the lights or
They were
change
not.
the?
They,
color?
they were not. I'm still investigating that. It's no. It's more complicated than it.
not sure they were ever made.
Some of them were, but some of them weren't.
Were.
Right.
We've lost 6 original
Okay.
ones.
Yeah.
In the go around, and we only replaced 5 of them, but the recent 4 that were replaced were ordered without dimmers.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna happen.
So that wasn't included in the original scope of work. That's something that we can still investigate. It just turned, I was not able to conquer that one, so. But we will continue to investigate. Okay, next up, can I get a motion for a resolution to urge the New York State
Yes.
Department of Transport, okay, Erwin?
Yes.
And a second part. Discussion, or Erwin, you're first, if you would like to discuss.
I can't see a place where it's more than.
Okay. Bart, you seconded?
Yes.
I think,
I agree, I think it's, something should be done at that intersection, not just because of this horrific accident, but just.
In
the
general.
early use, if you ever drive up those streets, it's like the people going all different ways and not knowing when to stop and cars and whatever, it's kind of. It seems dangerous.
yeah, I would just like to add, this was based off the resolution that COPE passed. I believe 4-1, in support of their resolution. This is, again, not in our jurisdiction. So this is, a support of what Craryville, believes is, and not Craryville, I'm sorry, COPE, passed, last month. Nico or Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, with the traffic light where the school is was put in for a reason, and arguably this intersection gets even more hectic than that, so, you know, I think it's needed. And maybe on Worker Road it's needed more, who knows?
So,
That's, yeah.
Dangerous.
Jamie?
so I think this was updated, right, since last month?
It wasn't on the agenda.
It was, it's different than the one that Copac passed.
Correct.
Slightly, because they said that it was a traffic light, and here it says traffic signal or stoplight. And a stoplight is only a type of a traffic signal.
Okay,
So this, I mean, I don't know if that's your intention, but that's why I would vote to approve this, because I am not a road engineer, so I don't know actually what is the best design
Yeah.
at that intersection, whether it should be a stoplight or blinking stop signs, if there should be a turning lane. That is, we're not experts
Yeah.
in that at all. And that's something that
right,
that's, traffic studies are done to assess that. So I don't think that this resolution should draw that conclusion, but I don't think it does.
Hmm.
I think that it's traffic signal is broad enough to
Okay.
cover
Yeah,
anything that they could design there, right?
agreed. And again, this is in support of Copay.
Yeah.
And just so they can send this to the department, and well, there's our town clerk will be sending to all the relevant parties and, whatever support we can provide, I think is worthy.
Yeah, and to note, the person who voted against, or the council person who voted against it in probate, did not have my perspective, just so that's clear.
Yeah. I agree. I drive it every morning, with school buses and, I go right at the exact time where everyone is, so, yeah. All in favor? Bell, Ziegler, Borchak, Hernandez, and Toronto, Norton, thank you. We will circulate that. Next up is a resolution to accept the donations to the youth program, and I'll read them for the public record. Hudson PBA, $500, Adam Barron, Pizza Party, $150, Skytop Pizza Party, $150, Northeast, wow, lots of pizza here. Not Northeastern Stagecoach Pizza Party, miscellaneous T-shirts, Angie Zaccaroli and Freshtown Market, Stewart's and Jamie Nero for Dunkin' Donuts. Can I get a motion to accept these donations?
Sure.
Erwin and Nico, any discussion on the donations? Thank you all to donated. The kids will greatly appreciate the pizza and the donuts. Did I say, no, all in favor? Did I do that? Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Heat stroke. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next is a resolution to accept the donations from the Rhinestone Hill Community Foundation in the amount of $45,000 for the Hamlet Park band shell, $25,000 for the Roland Jansen State Park, and $12,000 for the on-demand transportation program. Can I get a motion, please? Nico and Erwin, any discussion on the Rhinestone Hill?
Great. Congratulations, just Mark going out. This is another big generous amount of money from this foundation. They're really supporting our town. The 25,000, Wolf Jansen is working as a match for the 25,000 that the HRBT Foundation gave us. So we've now matched both of those $25,000 HRBT grants. And so now we have $100,000 we can use to improve the program part, which is fantastic.
So who's seconded that, I'm sorry.
That was Nico and Farrell. Any further discussion?
When did we apply for this program?
That was in January.
They were on a May to May schedule. Every May they have their meeting. So we applied back in maybe January, February.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely went to the board.
And what are these projects? Besides the band shell?
The band
Yeah.
bill is the second
Yeah.
half of the funding they gave us last year. But-
Yeah, that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
I mean, what is this being used for at Roloff Jensen Park?
Well, Nico
We'll
and
be talking about.
Yeah.
this, But also it's not committed to anything.
It's
Oh,
general
okay, it's just a
maintenance.
general.
Yeah.
the maintenance
Okay.
fund. Yeah, we were not specific, but we just said there, we gave a list of all the many things. that we
Yeah.
approved in there.
And the on-demand transportation program that
Yes.
what is the status of that?
The status, as I mentioned last month, they had a referendum on a tax raise in Great Barrington, which.
Yeah.
Did that pass? I believe it.
I think it did.
Yeah, but they were kind of all work stopped because they didn't know what their budget was gonna be. I've been in contact with Tate. I let him know about this. He's very excited. But we did lose some time because we were hopefully gonna launch in July. It'll probably be in the fall now at the earliest. But he does know about this and I will keep you posted on any movement. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Thank you to Rhinestone Hill community and all its board members. Next up is the resolution establishing immunization requirements for participants in the Hillsdale Summer Youth Program. I did post this in the packet about 2 weeks ago. Our lawyer, who was in Costa Rica for a week, good for him, pointed out that there is a medical exemption. So in the first now therefore be resolved, it has been updated that a written statement by a licensed physician in practice in medicine in the state certifying that such specific immunization may be detrimental to a child's health in accordance with New York public state law. That has been added since the original posting 2 weeks ago. Can I get a motion, please? Nico, I guess second. Bell. Any comment, Michelle? Yes.
What is prior protocol on this?
Prior protocol was, we do collect, Emily can speak to this, we do.
So when the kids hand in their applications, they also have to hand in, it was physical from the doctor, and they also have to have their vaccines up to date.
Right.
And then there was actually, I think, 2 or 3 children who parents do not get their vaccines, so they didn't know if their kids could be in the program. I asked the director, and the director asked Department of Health, and the Department of Health said it's on to the town. So it's the town's decision.
That's never happened before.
I guess not, I don't know, according to the Department of Health, it's the town's decision to allow these unvaccinated children to the park program or not. And that's.
Although they do recommend.
Yes, they highly recommend it,
I get it.
yes, but it is not the Department of Health's decision to say that they can or cannot, because it's not a school versus a summer program, youth program, it's a little bit different. So, cause it has to do with the Department of Education and stuff, so they said it had to be brought to the town, and the town board had to make a decision on whether or not to allow unvaccinated children into the summer program. So there we are,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
So, I looked at the earlier, when you first posted this.
Mhm.
And the question I had was, the only required vaccine schedule is for, in New York State, is for school children attending public schools.
Mhm.
So what vaccines does this reference specifically? Because it says that,
I had it, like it said that each grade what you need to, in order to go to school, but some of these kids are homeschooled.
right, so that's my point. So this doesn't, it references the American Academy of Pediatrics, but the actual list of vaccines required in schools is, I think, what you want to reference in this
Okay.
resolution.
I think I found it on the state website, yes.
Yeah, so it's actually the, sorry, I didn't
That's okay.
prompt you to this earlier.
It's
Because
also
I
a letter.
assumed that this
Did you see the
town
letter?
attorney would pick up on it.
Did you see the letter from the Department of Health that enumerates a lot of things?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's a
the
campus.
actual, the only list that I could find,
Well, there's the age appropriate immunization schedule set forth by the American Academy of Pediatric. And the
Rubina and
American,
I found it.
Small.
Yes.
It's MMR, yes, cause there's some other things.
yeah, but I think this is something that we shouldn't be. If you are creating a requirement for vaccines, you should be explicit about what you're referencing as the requirement, right? We're not doctors, so.
Well, if
I
you
can't
think,
remember.
if someone thinks a requirement to add to this resolution is a list
No, I-
of vaccines
I
that are
agree.
requested, you could add it as an addendum to this resolution, because if you leave it to the next meeting,
It's the
Yes.
program.
Reference it right now, so
Yes.
here it is, the New York State immunization requirements for school entrance or attendance,
Yeah.
that's what it's called.
yeah, I mean, the resolution references the immunization set forth by the New York State Department of Health.
Right, but the New York State Department of Health recommends a lot of things, but this is the specific schedule of immunizations, like, I
Okay.
think that. It's confusing to parents. If you don't give them the specific list, because there are,
can you just give me the name of it again, so the new
it,
immigration.
yeah,
requirement?
and it's done by year, so this is the 2025-26. New York State immunization requirements for school entrance or attendance.
Okay,
I think I have that down.
That was the one that me and you found,
Yeah, we
yeah.
had.
yeah, so that should be in the B, therefore be it resolved that all children enrolled in or participating in the Hillsdale Summer Youth Program shall provide documentation, excuse me, demonstrating that they have received all age appropriate immunizations recommended under the current immunization schedule recognized by, this is what we want to change, this,
Yeah,
okay,
or in the 2025-26 school year, New York State immunization requirements for school
Well,
entrance.
it could change, so I guess in current school year.
in the, okay, that's a good point, in the current school year. Could you repeat that? I'm sorry. New York State,
Immunization requirements for school entrance / attendance. And
immunization requirements for,
/ attendance.
/
yes. For school entrance / attendance.
okay,
And then you could say, published by New York State Department of Health.
okay, got it. Thank you, Rabina, I'll
Yeah.
send you this,
And to note, like, for instance, the reason why this is important is because this doesn't include like, COVID vaccine, for instance. So parents may think that their kids need a COVID vaccine when actually they
Yes.
don't.
Correct, because I have had that too before.
Yeah.
okay, I'm sending you this revised, thank you for that comment, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Thank you, Emily, for all your work on the youth program. It's really a great program. Okay, comprehensive plan, update, can I get a motion to appoint the preliminary comprehensive plan committee? Erwin and Nico, seconded, I updated that one, so I don't know if they should sign that one, but.
Well, they've got to sign something, if you printed it out.
Or you can just write their names, because I can print it out.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah, here, okay, hold it, I'm sorry. We have a motion on the floor, Erwin, you were first. Any comment
On,
on the preliminary comprehensive plan committee?
I think that the committee should be comprised of people outside of the board.
Okay. Nico? Jamie?
The
Or-
committee doesn't list anyone on the board.
No, it doesn't.
No.
So he's just reconfirming that.
Okay.
I just want to make this clear, this is a preliminary comprehensive plan, this is, the main goal is to hire the professional consultant who will then guide the board, the town, in forming, for lack of a better word, the actual comprehensive plan committee. When a recommendation does come forward, my number one concern will be the chosen consultant's experience in gathering input from every segment of the population, ideally from every person, to get a wide swath of opinions. I think it's amazing that the CAC and Gretchen and Jamie got this grant, because with that amount of money, we'll really be able to hire a professional grade person who does this. And my personal feeling is, since the town board will ultimately vote to approve this comprehensive plan, that I want to get as raw data as possible without my finger on it, without the town board running it, which is why we're hiring this professional. I'm very excited about this. It's going to open us up for a lot of grants, and it's going to be great to hear from a lot of people we usually don't hear from. We've been through this with the Project for Public Spaces in 2013. It was a great experience with that company. They did walkthroughs, they did online, they did I just had a lot of fun with it. So I'm no longer Joe Citizen. So I won't be participating in the same way, but I can tell you that I did 15 years ago, and it was really a great experience. Nico or Jane?
So I had written the board
Yeah.
and I had spoken at the last meeting that I thought that this resolution was a little ambiguous. And I'm sorry, I didn't get to it in time. I had family health leave, but there's just a few lines.
Okay.
I think it's not really to do with the committee or this resolution, but I think the board should understand what the state statute says is that either the town board can lead the comprehensive planning process, lead it with, of course, a citizen advisory committee who is doing most of the legwork and working together with the consultant. Either the town board or the planning board or a comprehensive planning board. So we can actually appoint a comprehensive planning board to execute this. So that's what the statute says generally. At the end of the day, the town board has to vote to adopt this plan regardless. But there's also some things that I think are kind of always in the town board's purview. And that I think is really, hiring consultants. Ultimately, it's the town board's decision to hire a consultant. In our original work plan submitted to the state for this grant program, we defaulted to what most towns default to, who don't have maybe a hired planning board, right? I mean, some people have some municipalities or cities have like entire planning departments, right? That include planning boards. The county has a planning department and a planning board. We don't really have that set up here. So the way that we submitted this as part of our work plan was that the town board would be what would you say, like the agency kind of driving the process according to the state statute. And the citizen advisory committee would be, the committee that's dealing directly with the consultant and then also, getting all the inputs from the public and, helping to gather all these inputs from the planning board, the zoning board, the building inspector. That's their job. And then ultimately, they're creating a draft together with the consultant and then presenting it to the town board at various intervals. This resolution, you can see it states that the planning board is authorized and encouraged to prepare and recommend a comprehensive plan for the town or to assist the town in such preparation. So it's like.
Just give me where is that? Is that the
That's
third whereas?
the
or-
third whereas.
Okay.
And then at the end, it says like. The committee shall operate in an advisory capacity to the planning board. Well. I think. That creates a lot of ambiguity because the first decision we need to make as a board is based on the state statute. Who is leading the process? Is it the town board? Is it the planning board? Is it a comprehensive planning board? We need to kind of make that decision before we write resolutions like this, because otherwise we're basically saying that a citizen advisory committee by state statute and by our local by our local law, right? Or our local policy is a committee that advises the town board. But here we're saying they're advising planning board. I would go further to say that, this committee, there are two planning board members on this committee, by design. There's also, a zoning board member by design, I assume. So I just wonder if there was a reason why this resolution was written this way, was it intentional or can we maybe rework this so that it's just a clear process, right?
have-
Who do you want to be in charge?
What?
Who do you want to be in charge? You give these multiple choices, this person could be in charge, which
Well,
one do you?
the way that, actually, Gretchen who helped me, the way that we set up the original work plan was based on best practice in New York State. So we thought that the town board should run the process and that we should have a robust citizen advisory committee that works together.
It's so weird because you said, on one hand, the town board should be involved, but at the same time, they should.
The town board leads it, it's actually the supervisor that has a conflict of interest.
Can I just
Right,
ask the question?
it's a ethical.
Right.
There is a conflict of interest for a supervisor to be,
Can I ask a question? I need to know.
we
what
don't
state-
write, we
what
don't
state
write.
Statute you're referring to.
I
272.
referenced it and it's this, it's
272.
actually this, which is confusing because that's actually the statute referenced here. So I think it, I don't really have a very strong position on this. I just think that this is like a very critical preliminary decision of the board. And we have to understand that if the planning board is leading this process, then we're not part of this process.
Well, I think there's a difference between between the preliminary phase, and I will define that as from now until the consultant is engaged. Once the consultant is engaged, I think that becomes the what word can I use for non-preliminary process, but I think that's the second phase.
What's that based on, like what, I've never heard of this,
Well,
like where first the process is led by the planning board and then it's led by the.
well,
town.
it's
Why
not,
would we do that?
it's not, we have the final say on who the consultant is, so I don't see the planning board as leading this. We have the final say. So we are in essence in charge. So.
Right, but I think then.
Is there a
if
particular
that's-
line you want?
So your response was kind of like, and tell me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
but your response was kind of like, well, this team, this preliminary team
Mhm.
is only gonna help select the consultant.
Advised to select the consultant,
Right.
yes.
Right, so, but that's not what, that's
Okay.
not clear in this resolution.
Is-
So I think if that is the case, then that's fine, but let's just make it clear that, if the town board is leading the process, I
Mhm.
think in 272-A, they call it the preparer, they use the word preparer.
Okay, alright,
So the town board is a preparer, it's almost like being lead agency,
okay,
Right.
I can see, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the only
But it
reference
also-
I
it
have.
also says planning board.
Yeah, I mean,
It's either or.
So I think we can tweak this a little bit, so it's like. The town board decides, okay, the town board is the preparer according to 272-A. This preliminary committee, will help in
Yeah.
advising and selecting.
Right.
The consultants.
Okay,
So the planning board, what is their role in that?
They advise the town board.
well, the planning board also,
The recommendation, as far as I understand it, from things that we've done in the last 20 odd years, is that the recommendation from this committee would go to the planning board. Who would then look at it and then forward it on to the town board.
the final.
Yeah. I
For
think there's-
approval of the consultant.
Yeah,
And then once the consultant's hired. With the approval of the town board, then she. Puts together another committee, again with town approval. who will then work on the plan with whoever else they want included, including the residents and.
Yeah, the farmer and the weekender and all that, yeah.
Right,
So, okay,
I think the
but it
confusion
ultimately
is,
ends at the town board, with the town board approving the plan. So it doesn't make any sense that the
Yeah.
town board's involved in creating the plan.
but we haven't done this process recently.
We've done similar things, we've done part.
Yeah, but this is really like its own process,
Yeah.
like that,
I know,
you
but
know, it's a separate process.
Which
And
argues for not having the town board oversee it, I would say.
no, the opposite. In most cases, the town board does lead it, as the state
I don't-
statute.
I don't
Then what is
honestly
the role
see
of
how
the
you can.
consultant?
It's a.
What?
What is the role of the
No,
consultant?
no, the consultant will do all of the work. It's
Right.
just that, you know, basically the reporting mechanism comes to us.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
The
absolutely, yeah.
reporting mechanism is to us.
Right.
The reporting mechanism
For
is
sure.
not to the planning board. It's not to another board that we create.
So are you, is it, in the before they're
Yeah.
resolved, 0.3 that is the problem?
So there were three sections that were issues, but I think that if, the other thing I just wanted to point out,
Yeah.
which I think is part of the confusion, is like, people assume that planning boards lead comprehensive planning just because planning is in both their words, but the planning board has a very specific role in the town. That is not comprehensive planning.
But the town law
And that
states,
is why,
the town law states that the planning board should be the one that starts the comprehensive plan. It's
Wait,
really
who,
clear.
wait.
No, it
Which-
says that,
Which one?
that
Can you reference it?
I think it's the same law, I think
the
it's the
two
same. statute.
seventy-two, the planning board. Okay, so we want to make it clear that this preliminary committee will be advising the planning board and ultimately the town board on a choice. After the consultant is chosen, then we will take the consultant's lead on how to structure and all that stuff. So what in this resolution as it currently stands is problematic or not
It-
clear
it
that we
has to
can,
be- We have to make a decision and it has to be made clear who is the preparer, which board is the preparer according to, and prepared not taking the role of the consultant.
Yeah.
This is just the language in the
But that's
statute.
not what this is about.
It's the lead,
yeah,
the
but,
lead
this is-
board. Who is the lead board in this process?
but I don't,
That's
okay,
what
sorry,
I
I
would
don't want to. Okay.
recommend that the lead board in this process be the town board based on the statute.
All right,
And based on best practice in New York State. Like I said, if we had a very robust planning department that had this type of experience, I think we've extracted the two planning board members with the most
Experience. yeah.
experience in this area. That's great. But I think that it should be, I think it should be this way. I would go further to say that, you know, the planning board chair was not supportive of this application and did not initially support comprehensive planning. And
She initially did,
should I read
but
the email?
she initially did, but when there was a tight time frame on the reapplication, she had problems with that. So, okay, so I would really like to talk to the consultant about this. So I would like to just get to the consultant phase.
Yeah.
How it
So-
works in other towns.
How it works in other
They
towns
operate.
and to have him or hers $100,000 opinion on how this should work, because
Yeah.
so
So
how
before
can we get to that
We
phase?
resolve to create the committee,
Yeah.
so, why don't we just use that committee to help us with the RFP process for the consultant?
Yes, agreed.
And we don't have to make these decisions yet, because I think this resolution makes decisions
no,
for
Can
us
you-
that are.
Can you cite
ambiguous.
specifically
Yeah,
where,
I did email. and I-
can you recite, please?
Yeah, I don't think we should change it here. I think that it should be rewritten. And I think that the town attorney should also take a look at it.
The
based-
town attorney
based-
has taken a look at it, the town
Okay, but-
attorney did,
We were not, the town board was not included on the advisory from the town attorney on this document.
Look,
Have you done a comprehensive plan before?
I'm sorry?
Have you done a comprehensive plan before?
No, but I worked 2 years writing the extensive
I know,
grant.
but so why don't we get the consultant going,
Yeah.
because you don't know either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, but I think that,
I don't think
Like it.
this obligates either board to be the lead. I think that is a decision that will be made when the consultant is chosen. I think this does set up the committee to start this process, as we were advised when we took the call with New York State, that we should get this
Yeah.
started. And I know we
Okay.
haven't signed the
I
contract
would go
yet.
further to say that the best practice tells us that the Citizen Advisory Committee should be that robust, diverse committee that we talked about in the beginning. That's
That-
who's.
That's what it will
But that's what the consultant will form.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
what we're
well,
hiring a
that's where
consultant.
The consultant is
Can I-
chosen.
Yeah,
Putting
exactly, that's
Putting
after the,
things ahead of where they need.
that's
to be.
why we need the
Falling out
consultant.
of the sequence we need to follow.
Right, that's why
So
we.
first thing is, let's get the
So
consultant.
can we go back to what you would change to solve your issues with this? Because if we're going in all these direct directions.
I don't think we need this,
We need to.
I don't think we need this resolution. We've already appointed a committee. We can add members to that committee just by motioning to add them to the committee.
We
I
have, we
think
did.
this is just,
but-
I think this resolution just, it makes it confusing, it makes a convoluted, undecided process of something that is actually very simple, like we all agree that a consultant should be hired to help make these decisions. We obviously are not decided on which board should lead the process.
Right,
Okay, but maybe a consultant can help us with that, but I think this resolution makes it confusing and puts some of these decisions in the hands of the planning board when I don't think we have come to those conclusions yet.
okay, so, I don't think
So
any.
you're accusing me of that, but I'm saying this resolution.
I don't think
Is-
anyone is
no,
accusing anybody.
No, but what I'm saying, this resolution draws those conclusions.
And you don't
And
think,
I think we should, as we agree, we should wait for a consultant to help us.
How are we gonna
But,
get?
yeah, no, this merely, in my mind, all these whereases are about the formation of the committee, formalizing what it admittedly was not a thorough formation of this committee. This whereas to pursue in New York State law, the planning that's verbatim from the law. It does not say that, this is stating what the law states. It's not making any decision on who is actually the lead. We find it necessary to establish a preliminary committee, which we've all agreed to. We've already authorized the formation of this committee. The establishment will ensure an organized, transparent, and efficient process that aligns, yes. This be it therefore resolved, we are naming Frank Upham, and I believe Bill Sullivan was not named before. And we're establishing that the liaisons are Jamie and Nico. This be it further resolved. Okay, so we can, with their duties, but they can certainly help with the RFQ process. Reviewing submissions, recommendations to the planning board and town board, absolutely. Advising on scope of work, we can cut this. Advising on scope of work, timeline, and public engagement, I think we should cut that, number 3.
Mike,
Yeah,
this resolution was
Uh-huh.
written by you, a planning board member,
Yes.
and the town clerk.
and no, it was Ken Dow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just, again, like, this process is in our hands as a board.
Right, and
We
we,
should sit, whoever it is, whether it's you and Nico or, our board should be writing this resolution.
and we've had it in the public record for 2 months now, and I
Yes.
think we should This does nothing but establish the preliminary
I
committee.
mean, we don't want to set things back another month and not having this board get going. This lays out their duties. They need to know.
No, but exactly, these duties are ambiguous, that's what
There's
I,
nothing ambiguous about these four things at the end about what the board
okay,
responsibility.
what I'm saying is that this.
You're arguing about
This
the
should-
process, which I can understand that's a good point for discussion, but it shouldn't be, some of this now established so the board can get working.
The committee already exists. The committee was already
Right.
established. So,
But
Like
they
we-
need, guidance from us, and all this is saying is, here are what's in our organizational chart, here's what a liaison is, and here's the members, and here's what your responsibilities are. This does not establish in any way that the planning board is the lead, or who's the lead. I wanna have this discussion with the consultant.
What could we cut or change to make you okay with this so we can pass it tonight? We shouldn't wait another month.
I just,
I highlighted the two sections, so it's the planning board is authorized and encouraged to prepare and recommend a comprehensive plan for the town. Or to assist the town board in such preparation and to undertake studies and make recommendations to advance the sound of just remove the whereas. Just remove it. Don't need
the
it.
entire, I mean, this is
this
just stating
says
what's in
all.
272. It's not saying we're going this way or that way, it's just saying.
No, but what I pointed
Okay,
out
we're gonna-
is that it's ambiguous because
Okay.
it says that both the
Delete it.
planning board and
Delete
the
it.
town board are.
A motion
in
to
this
delete the
specific-
whereas,
Oh, I like
all
it.
in fit,
Yeah, yeah,
you like it?
I think it makes perfect sense.
I think it makes some sense.
fine.
I don't think there's anything ambiguous
they wrote it for a
about
reason.
any of this
Well,
language.
actually, Ken Dow put this in, so,
Right.
you know, it's saying that New York State
As a law.
has a law that allows us to do this, or, you know, I don't think it obligates us in any way. So,
And then the last.
Yeah, sure.
Is that the be it further resolved that the
Yes.
committee shall operate in advisory capacity to the planning board. The committee
which,
shall operate in advisory capacity to the town board,
I'm sorry, where,
because
which,
it is a
I'm sorry, just
citizen.
what's
It's the last.
the last one, sorry.
Yeah.
The last piece, okay, the committee shall operate in advisory advice to the planning board. The committee shall operate in an advisory capacity to the planning board. And any and all final decisions regarding consultant selection, RFP assistance, issuance and subsequent planning actions. Shall remain with the town board.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are suggesting that they are operate in an advisory capacity to the town board.
Town board, that's it. For now,
Town board,
No, wait.
Yeah.
To be it further resolved, what?
the last further resolve. Be it further resolved that the committee shall operate in an advisory capacity to the.
plan. Because that's what it says at the beginning. 272 says plan.
no, it's town board and 272, the reference to 272 in the third whereas is just a reference that 272A, as I've said many times now, references 3 different options for boards.
Well, this option's.
So why don't we just
Okay.
take out the words to the planning board and just say it operates in an advisory capacity?
So I would say take out the third whereas, and just say that the committee shall operate in an advisory capacity to the town board.
Because
Based
it's not
on our
advising the
local
town board.
policy, a citizen advisory committees in the town of Hillsdale advise the town board.
So,
All right. Can we return to the last, be it further resolved, that the committee shall operate in advisory to the town board? So you and Nico would report to the town board, which makes sense, because you're the liaisons to the
Of
town board.
course.
Okay, and all final decisions regarding consultant selections, RFQ issuance, and subsequent planning actions shall remain with the town board as required by law.
Yeah, give her the planning board and vote.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or doesn't have the authority to select the consultant.
Okay.
I mean, even if they led the process, I don't think they don't have the authority to issue an RFQ, for instance.
Yeah,
Right,
so we solved
okay.
that.
all right. I don't think this third whereas obligates us in any way to anything.
I don't think it obligates us, I just think it.
It does
may
become
confuse
superfluous,
things.
it does become superfluous. What's the word, superfluous, if we're changing the last, be it therefore, so I do agree with that, so can we get a motion to
What do you want to do?
delete the third whereas?
I think we did that earlier.
Yeah.
And the
Better-
last
then
then,
You disagree. But,
I
yeah,
don't think it needs to be, but it.
Yeah, it could be taken out. I mean,
okay, so we have 4-1, I'm sorry, Karen. Okay,
so the last issue I brought up is that the town clerk, Ravina, she has enormous experience with this and she should definitely be a part of this process. But it is a citizen advisory committee and the town clerk is an elected official and therefore should probably not be appointed to a citizen advisory committee.
I'm
She-
also a citizen.
Thank
To get elected, I was a citizen, so I still am a citizen.
Right, so the top, but not how we define citizen advisory committees according to our policy. So the town clerk also has an official role in the comprehensive planning process.
Not in this part,
Yes, you do.
not in this part.
You're publishing an RFQ. You're the interface for our procurement process. That's a formal role.
Okay. I hear you, does anyone else have any comments? Look, I think there is no statute, for this, either in our organizational chart or with in the state, in the creation of the comprehensive plan. This is not the creation of the comprehensive plan. I would not support, this for the actual comprehensive plan committee, but I think there's a lot of value in having the institutional knowledge and the timely transparency for this committee. So I would support the town clerk being on.
I agree.
I think that I would support it if it was ex officio, not voting vote. I think that makes sense. Just the way liaisons are non-voting on citizen advisory committees.
But I'm not
But-
acting in the
but-
role of town clerk, and that would be my citizen.
Right,
Well, then you could say that any of us could act in our,
well,
Yeah,
but
that doesn't
Ravina does not have a vote in the final comprehensive
I don't
plan.
vote in the town board.
Or nor does she have a final vote on who the
Yeah.
consultant is, so I support her being on the committee with full. So,
full voting.
full voter,
Okay,
okay,
I'm gonna reference what I said in the email, but
So you taking out through.
yeah. And as I said in my email, unfortunately Ken had some medical stuff today, but a very quick conversation. He did not have any issue with it.
so I had written to the board that the town clerk can serve, but should not serve as a voting member of a comprehensive plan citizen advisory committee to avoid procedural conflicts of interest and to maintain clear separation of duties between the administrative recording of official documents and the creation of municipal land use policy.
Well, I'm not taking minutes at this meeting.
It's a similar reason why the
Right, and
the town supervisor should not be directly.
if this were the actual comprehensive plan committee, I would agree, but this is not. This is the preliminary to choose the consultant, so I do not have a problem with them.
We vote on this.
Would you like to call the question?
I'm sorry?
Would you like to call the question?
Yes.
All right, the question has been called, There really was not a motion put on the floor, but I'll put a motion that, well, no, the concern was brought up about the town clerk, motion to include the town clerk as a voting member of the preliminary comprehensive plan
I
committee.
will make that motion.
Second, okay, I believe we've had discussion, the question has been called, all in favor,
I'm in favor.
okay, and, one abstention. Okay, thank you, I want to thank you, Danny, for that, bringing those concerns, and I know, no, absolutely. I'm sorry? Oh, no, no, okay, we have to go for this entirely, okay, for this motion that's been on the floor. Thank you for bringing these concerns, I know this is a big thing in front of us, and it's great to get this clarity at the top. As I said, I do look forward to this process, and I know there's conflict as supervisor, and if I'm being overly cautious, that's okay. All right, so all in favor of the resolution as amended, striking whereas number 3 and changing be it therefore resolved, that the committee serves in an advisory capacity to the town board, and subsequent planning action shall remain with the town board as required by law. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have a unanimous. Yeah, I have this, I can print this out to you. Okay, thank you. Where are we? 16 Hamlet Park. Bart, do you want to? No, this is because we have to.
The flea market, I mean, this is.
No, we have to go back to the other 2 years. So, I'll make this motion. So can I get a motion to transfer proceeds from the Hillsdale Fleet to the park reserves for the years 2026, 25, and 24? Can I get a motion, please? Erwin and Nico. The reason I am formally doing this is because in the last 2 years, we passed resolutions to earmark the fund, which is kind of nebulous, and they're kind of living out in nowhere's land. So I want to formally transfer those funds, in the amount of, let me bring up the resolution, $4,754.15. This is all 3 years to formally move them to the park reserve so they don't get lost in future administrations. And so, we have the motions on the floor. Does anyone have any comments on that? Yeah.
This, you can do this. I didn't realize you could do this.
Yeah, well, you can
Okay.
allocate funds. Yeah, I checked with Patterson, and the fleet is a
Because why didn't we do it before?
exactly. Why did, but
Oh,
yeah.
oh, it's because
We-
couldn't, but-
No, it's just, it was,
Because it was a donation, but now it's being charged as a rental.
yeah, it was it is rental, so it is revenue that we made. Yes, in hindsight, we should have done this, and so, yeah. So just make it cleaner. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, next up is the resolution to accept the bid from Scape Tech Bid for construction of the band shell. We had one bid come in, the bid process. Can I get a resolution? Can I get a motion?
Motion, but then.
Yeah, motion, yeah, and a second. Okay, now that we've motioned, we can discuss. And Bart, you were first. What you would like to say?
This bid came in way higher than what was anticipated. It was way out of scale with what Showpay paid to do similar work. I think
Same company or?
no, we don't even know who these people are. They came in at the last minute, literally, sure, I was here, we came a day before the.
That's what usually happens with bids.
Yeah, but yeah.
Anyway, the point is, it's so out of bounds, we cannot possibly approve this, and we're going to look at different ways to get more reasonable bids for this.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Okay.
What
Sure.
was the bid amount?
$49,000.
What is it?
245.
We
Yeah.
budgeted about 50,000.
Yeah, so it's what was.
That was even more.
Nico, you're gonna end up.
You provide a scope of work when you put this out,
Oh, yeah.
and they answered line by line with their estimate.
They got $250,000 for a band check.
No, that it
Financial,
includes
this is-
the road and the concrete work.
It did include the.
Yes.
Pour in the
it did. That's-
concrete
yeah.
and assembling the
Yeah.
the band shell.
Yeah, so what George is going to do is to look at ways, the town can buy the concrete. We can take the road out of this and, go back out to bid or, solicit more bids.
Did we already, or, sorry.
No, no, it's gonna- how is it setting the process back?
We're still 2-3 months out
Okay.
from, the actual delivery. Yes, the band shell has been delivered, if that's what, ordered.
It's being.
Ordered, and there's no way to delay that order or to cancel that order until you get. You know the actual cost for installing it.
Well, it's,
We can,
yeah, I mean, we're not supposed to get delivery this till like August, late August, so we have time, September, even, so we
Yeah.
have time to shop around. I mean, this is so out of scale that it's almost comical compared to what things would should cost, so we just have to.
Yeah, but I think that's like a symptom of. Symptom in America, like,
yeah,
it's a problem everyone has. Pouring concrete is really expensive right now.
Right.
So,
uh,
yeah,
250
no, but.
Yeah.
I just, we wouldn't wanna be in a position where we have to receive. An entire kit that we don't have someone to install.
right, so we will
Or
be,
we can't afford the installation. Do we have the money? Do we have, for instance, $250,000 to install it?
Not to install it, no.
Yeah,
We
so
have-
in a way, like, we, we manage like public money.
it's not public, this is private money, so.
No. Once it's donated to us, it's public. So
It's
even
not
if you get a
taxpayer
private
dollars.
donation,
not taxpayer
once
dollars.
it doesn't matter.
Alright.
Once it's still
Well,
part of, it's still part of.
Regardless, we voted unanimously to order it. so-
Right, so I'm bringing up that maybe we should delay that before we,
It's been ordered, we
how much
voted
did
to
that
order.
cost?
We have,
Band shell?
Yeah.
It's about 50,000.
Okay, so we're willing to receive item for $50,000 and have it sit here for maybe a year until we find someone to install it.
that's what we voted on.
Okay, is there any way, as part of the due diligence of this board, is there any way that we could maybe stop the payment or delay the payment for that
We're
until,
breaching the contract with companies making it.
well, maybe they didn't start production yet.
They have. Pretty sure they have.
I'm not positive, but it looked like they were.
I mean, it maybe, I'm not, I obviously support the project, I'm just saying like. If we don't have someone to install it. I didn't really understand that this was. An outlier in this process, so. Like,
We just learned this a few days ago, so give us some time to look for all our bids. We learned
Yeah.
on Thursday, so
Right.
it's, not even a
Friday.
week.
Right,
Right, it's not even a
Right.
week, so we can.
why was the order placed before?
the timing. It takes four
Takes
four
3 to
months,
4 months.
3 to
Yeah.
4 months to, so
Yeah.
that gives us the time to get the contract.
Because you want to finish it before winter, is that the
Yeah.
idea?
Hopefully, so we will endeavor to get more bids, George is on it.
That's the next
This
step.
was, look, compared to what Copay paid, this is wildly out of the expectation, and I'm confident we can find more reasonable bids, absolutely.
Okay,
think it'd be
but I think as part of the board's due diligence, you should at least ask to see if you can put the order on hold, something. Because if we don't find someone,
Mhm.
according to then. It's an unnecessary expense for 2020 this year. Why would we spend this money unnecessarily? It's not.
Well, they're gonna get, it's coming.
It's
in a
not
kit.
in
It's
the
not-
interest
it-
of-
It won't rot, if the worst case scenario, if we didn't get it installed this year, we can install it next year, it's going to town garage, it's not gonna sit out in the snow somewhere and fall apart, it's.
Well, the town trucks are sitting out. in the snow.
Yeah,
You're bringing up the worst case scenario,
Right.
which is,
Yeah,
what if town hall goes down to.
Yeah, I'm saying like, it is our responsibility to manage the spend of this
Right.
of this town.
Mhm.
So here's an opportunity to prevent some financial exposure or risk. Let's maybe just look into it. Let's just see if we can delay or cancel
We
the
can ask
program.
that question.
No.
Did we pay in full $50,000?
No, paid the down payment.
But most of these funds were dedicated to
Yeah.
a band show.
Bands are dedicated.
Specifically for a band show.
That's an opportunity right there. We only paid the deposit, right? So we probably shouldn't execute final payment. We probably should stop production. I mean, these are
I
things that are
don't
done.
think
in
that-
Vegas.
I do not agree, I'm
There's,
sorry.
these are things
Doesn't
that
that
are.
have this-
Okay, so there's a motion on
Sorry,
the floor,
that
or
doesn't have
there's a
this-
motion on the floor to accept the bid. And I'm gonna call the question, so all those in favor of accepting the bid for $250,000? Okay, all against? Okay, unanimous. Bart, will you report back on the progress on Jamie's suggestion and the finding alternate bids? Okay, thanks. Report back, please. Next up is CSC CE Task Force. Thank you for the notes. I put the approval of Edward Frederick under here. Can I get a motion to approve Edward Frederick, who I believe was a previous member of the CAC, so is a known entity? Can I get a motion, please? Nico and Erwin. Since he is a previous member and was approved by a previous board and comes with the recommendation of the current CAC members, I will be voting to approve and further. All in favor? Okay, you're now whole, right? You got 5 members.
Great.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Jamie, you had more reports on the CSC, CEC.
Yeah, there were just two things.
Sure.
They aren't here though.
Okay,
The
yeah, I was,
motions, sorry, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
pull them up. They're not terribly important, so. Actually, I can, it's an event in October, so I can put it on the next agenda.
oh, okay, great.
Yeah, but
great.
there were two things that needed the board
Been
approval.
a crazy 2
Yeah,
days,
yeah.
sorry. Okay, next up I have ChargePoint, which Rubina has, did prepare a report. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are operating at. We are making, we're not losing money,
No, it's a slim margin
it's
and.
a slim margin.
Here we go. So in 2024, we made $304.79 and we charge 39 a charge, 39 cents.
25, and that,
But now there's a 25 cent fee to that we don't charge.
No, just tell me what we charge.
35 cents.
Thank you.
and that is commensurate with other,
Correct, I did research, correct.
Yeah, she did a whole bunch of towns.
Sorry, I didn't follow that.
In fact, we charge 35 cents
and that's in line with other stations.
Correct.
to charge. So we made $304 in 24. 25. We lost some dollars because the cost of electricity went up towards the end of the year. So we took in 1,600, it was less than the year before and change, and we paid out 2006. Which included an upgrade to their software, which we weren't expecting. So we lost $62. And up to March in this year, we are $55 ahead. And I increased the cost of, they still say our cost of electricity is 12 cents. It's creeping up to 15. So at some point here, when we go further into 26, I think we should probably think, or the town board should probably think about increasing the rate an amount.
Mhm.
But on top of that, we're having problems with the actual equipment.
So,
It's saying that one port's in use when it isn't.
It says stop now.
Yeah, but it's on its last legs according to people at Charge Point. It's over 15 years old, so
Okay.
it's pretty old. So we can replace it. There's money out there to replace it.
Yeah, so Rubina, where these, this documentation is from our NICEAG bills?
Sure.
Okay, so the kilowatt rate, that is what we charge or what we're charged from NICEAG?
Right, so our NICEAG bill includes the bill for this building. Our Charge Point account says how many kilowatts we use charging cars. The NICEAG bill gives us the rate, kilowatt rate, which at the beginning was 12 cents. And then any other expenses that we have come in from Charge Point, and then we also get the revenue. So that's the way.
So we charge what?
35 cents.
35 cents, okay. Okay, so one thing that I noticed is that these revenue numbers don't match the revenue, our revenue lines, our year-end revenue lines, and I wonder why that is.
In the accepted budget and the approved budget.
Yeah, the year-end for,
What year?
this was just put on the agenda, right? So
It was
I didn't know, I asked for it to be added to the agenda.
It was on
but I
the
didn't
agenda.
review it.
It's on the agenda in April.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
understand that, but we
Yeah.
didn't review it,
We
and then
didn't,
I
yeah.
asked,
You weren't here.
well,
Whatever, that's.
I was at that meeting, but I asked for us to review it tonight, but I didn't know it was actually added, so.
So.
Anyway,
Discuss it next month, or?
Yeah, I think we need to look at this because. And maybe Mike, you could even ask or review it with the town accountant, because I don't. From memory, I think one of the issues I had with it was that it didn't match our revenue line, but maybe
Okay.
it did, and I was looking
I
at it.
think we,
As far as I know, it does.
we were getting more money than what budgeted for. It was not a deficit.
Yeah.
It was a,
So 24,
Um,
we got $1,552, which actually arrived in 25, but it belonged in 24. Because they didn't send it to us every month.
Right,
They sent it to us as
So-
a lump.
so another just, I mean, I don't wanna speak to these numbers until we know for sure that they are accurate. but
the
like-
kilowatts and the rate.
But we should never be negative. So I think I raised this earlier.
Well, we were last year because the NICEAG raised their rates,
Right, so
the last two, I think, terms.
this board has the authority to set the price.
Yes.
What
Right.
people pay.
That's what I
at
just
that
suggested,
juncture.
that maybe the board
Right.
should consider it.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
actually need to monitor this
Well,
more
I can
closely.
tell you, sale of electrical power, and this is as of May, we are at 25%, 23%, so we are 1/4 of the revenue taken in for the year. When we should be closer to 40%,
Yeah.
so we.
That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at.
No, but I'm-
Year end. You have to look at what the final year ends.
Well, I'm just
And
saying,
then-
5/12 of the way through the year, we're at 25% of the revenue taken in. So let's check next month when we're halfway through the year.
No, we don't need to look at this year, we need to look at the past years.
Okay.
2024 and 2025, we should have year end results that
Okay.
are published and bound, and those numbers should be very close to these. The only difference we should see is maybe a billing period that goes over into another fiscal year.
Yeah.
There may be some difference, but other than that, it should be pretty solid, and I didn't see that the first time I looked, but it could be
Okay.
different.
Well, that should be as part of the January 31st report. From.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll find them in,
I know, and
Yeah.
that's what. I-
Okay, take a look at that. All right, okay, great. Take a look at that. We can discuss next month. Okay, next up is the Virgin Park, right? Okay, Mr. Hernandez.
Yeah, we got the test back for the fecal coliform in the river, in the stream, it came back negative, which is great.
That's good,
We're gonna test every month because in the hotter months, we get become a problem.
right? We're
Um,
still keeping the signs up about no swimming though, right?
Up to you guys.
I mean, I think it's good because there's no lifeguard, I mean, it's.
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
Dangerous, so,
Okay,
yeah.
I agree, I
Yeah.
agree.
Shout out to the highway department for bringing in sand and Victor for doing a lot of hard work down there. Should I make a motion for?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see, if I can make a motion to accept the quote from AAA Roofing to replace the roof. That's in desperate need on Old Farms. We got three quotes.
I will second that.
Who made the motion? You.
Yeah, Nico put forward the motion, I seconded. So, okay, so we got three quotes and we're going with.
Yeah, so there was discussion whether it needs to be prevailing wage, but because all the money is privately donated, it's not taxpayer money.
And that's as per New York State. law.
Exactly, it doesn't need to be, which is why AAA's quote is so much lower because it's not prevailing wage. Phelps just was, was higher, I don't know where Denver's was, but.
How much is that?
Does it really not need to be prevailing wage?
That's,
Yeah,
that's,
that's the state.
as per state.
And so the other thing is, was this just added to the agenda?
Yeah. it was, yeah.
Okay, so we need to see what are the bids?
We can do verbal bid. These are what the prices that were quoted.
Okay,
It's kind of a formality because again, it's not taxpayer dollars.
but where's the scope of work? I mean, where's the RFP?
No, yeah, it's,
Our procurement policy is if it's below $35,000, you can get 3 verbal quotes. So this meets that, and this is not taxpayer money. So as for New York State, we can streamline it.
And it's for the roof.
And it's for the roof, which,
For the farmhouse.
Yeah.
which is
There is
leaking
some-
and I regard it as a semi-emergency. That we need to
Leaking.
replace this. So,
Alright,
Bart and Erwin, any comments?
No,
It says over $20,000 requires formal bidding.
Right, and we have a bid under $20,000. And again, this is not. This is my argument with the park. This is not on the Hillsdale property. This is not Hillsdale taxpayer money. This is
it's not
a,
state money.
it's not state money. This is a residential rental unit that somehow we got put in charge of that has an emergency leak. And I'm fine with accepting a bid when we have been solicited.
well, pretty good.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is a public works contract. Just because
Right.
maybe you got guidance that it's not prevailing wage, it's still a public works contract.
Right. But it's, we have tenants that are being leaked on. This is an emergency. I would,
I mean, we've been talking about this roof for a long time. Is
Right,
it really an emergency?
would you like to live in the house that has?
I know, but we didn't make a motion to make this an emergency.
A motion to make this an emergency. Can I get a motion, please? All right.
Yeah, it requires a formal RFP and written proposals from. the
I'm sorry, it
Department
is
of
not.
Health.
I'm sorry, this
So
emergency.
you make a motion,
15,000.
but-
Every public works contract
Can I
between
just get
15
whoever
and
put the
30
motion in?
$35,000.
And the motion.
I just
make
think
an emergency.
I wish I agreed with you, but I don't. This is not on Hillsdale land. It is something that we manage, we're managing a residential unit. And we need to get this done. And, if someone wants to come after us, then they may, but this is not our property. We're the managers, and we have to manage it. All in favor?
Abstain.
Okay, thank you. Any other business before the town? Motion to adjourn?
Did we get,
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
wait, we didn't take the vote.
Yeah, we did.
Actually,
On the roof, 4-1, 4 and 1 abstention.
Yeah, is there any opportunity to discuss the correspondence?
Sure, what would you like to say?
Well, I don't know what it's in reference to.
So, there was a map presented, a concept map of Maple Street that we approved, and it was in our newsletter. That was here, Maple Street. No, the correspondence is, but the actual map was presented to the town board. This was a conceptual map. It was not, it was intentionally to be a concept. It was not permitted, it was not formally approved, it was not surveyed, it was not taken to any further step other than a very preliminary conversation with DOT. So literally nothing has been done other than here's a concept, which was intentionally brought forth to the public in our newsletter, so the public could see and have feedback. Now, we did get this feedback. My position is that this is a public safety issue. To have two state highways with the local road going in is by a de facto safety issue. So I think the town should continue to investigate ways to mitigate the safety issue. Now, this was presented a couple of days ago. Obviously, this will be taken into consideration, but this is nowhere beyond the concept stage, so I view this as very premature.
So the original concept map that excluded that corner, that was predates this.
Well, there's also that, there was the PPS plan and the Chasm plan, which had reconfigurations on Maple. The one that CPL prepared a couple months ago or last year, that actually had the concept of Maple going out on the 22. So that's where.
Okay, and that road was included and it goes through a private property?
Right, and the log cabin owner who was amenable to this, since it only involved the log cabin property, that owner was consulted before putting the concept map out there.
But this person is not the log.
Correct, he's the owner of the property south.
So is it his property
Yeah,
that
not
it was
property.
drawn through?
No,
That's why
But then why
standing this
doesn't
question,
he have an attorney write this letter?
good question.
you have to ask him.
Okay.
I mean, there is some, he's claiming a right of way and stuff like that. There's nothing on file with the county. This obviously, again, this was just a concept that needs much more investigation.
Well, the original,
But did we
original owners
base
of the
the
log
dra-
cabin,
Sorry,
were talking to the people that live next door in the garage when
Right.
I was living in the trailer there.
Yeah,
So they were aware of the discussion.
Yeah.
Way back.
yeah. So when the drawing was made more recently,
Mhm.
what did the log cabin owner provide a survey of his
yes,
property?
he did.
Okay, and then the road is fully contained,
Yes.
according to that survey, it's
According to
fully
that survey,
contained, okay.
So they're disputing that. That's a dispute which will have to be investigated. So, but this is a very way early in this process, so, we shall see. Okay, motion to adjourn. Erwin, Bart, all in favor? Okay, thank you for a good meeting. That was very informative.
Fine.